Well, we are back with yet another episode of The Fly on the Wall. My name is Duke Mwesigwa, and again we have the big man, the fly on the wall, Mr. Aldrine Nsubuga Snr. Honorable, Senior, I'm happy to host you today.
I'm glad we are back to yet see what's been happening in the week and possibly what's coming later on.
Yes, like we told you that today here on Media Estate, Fly on the Wall, we always discuss issues of national importance, ranging from sports, current affairs, and anything you would want to hear from Mr. Aldrine Nsubuga Snr. Mr. Aldrine, let us talk about sports. The Uganda Hippos, the Uganda under-20s. We are in the Afcon in Egypt, and the boys are performing very well. They are flying in colors.
I've been very impressed.
Yes.
Usually when our teams go for these continental engagements, the tournaments, we get excited when they are going, but when it comes to the actual football, we disappoint, and a lot of us really become dejected. The under-20 are doing a great job. 3 games, no defeat. And I must say, an improvement in the style of play. What we've been suffering as Uganda, our teams, when they qualify for these big tournaments, when they go, we lack a style that can galvanize us as fans.
Our identity.
Yeah, fans, we get galvanized by the style, how we play the game. You cheer moments of brilliance. You cheer skill. You cheer good goals, great goals. You cheer great moves. It makes you feel great to watch a Ugandan team play like that. We are advertising our game. People will say, wow, Uganda plays some great football. We've been missing that. What this under-20 team, the Hippos, are doing, even though that style, exciting style, is not sustained throughout, we've seen several moments when these boys, and I like young football, they just go out and exhibit their talent.
They are playing training football, attacking-minded.
They entertain us, they play, they dribble, they get past players, they play speedy football, and I like that. So the way they've done it has been exciting, and I love that we are facing Nigeria next, because Nigeria, from the games I've seen, is one of the best teams at the tournament thus far. So I would want to see the West Africans against the East Africans. We know naturally we share similarities in terms of style and skill. I want to see us going at each other. Yes.
Should the Ugandans be proud of these boys, that maybe we should have a team that will make it to the Cranes, and we have that team that will even put our dreams out there?
I think so, yes. In the last game, I think it was against South Sudan, one player I really love, Travis Mutiaba, shone. He really shone in that game. The game before that, he was used as a sub.
As a substitute.
But in this game, he really shone. I would have loved to see him score a goal. But alongside others like Sema Timbers and the likes, I think it is promise. It's promise that given freedom, given a chance to go out and express themselves, and in the knowledge that these are platforms on which they can build for the future, it's a good promise. And if we can get 1, 2, 3 players who come through and later on go on to shine at Uganda Cranes level, I'll be glad, I'll be happy. Unfortunately, it's not just about Uganda. If you notice youth football the world over, unfortunately, it doesn't happen enough that 3, 4 players come through from the underage team, progress consistently, go to the next level, and eventually make it to the national team. And you can look back and say, these 4 players in the national team all played together at under-20, and no wonder we knew they would make it. It doesn't happen often. 1 or 2 may make it, but along the way, the other 2 probably fall by the wayside.
What should we do to keep them together, so that we can have those players? Like the way you see Spain, Germany, those players have played together for some time. They're in France. Now when they go to the national team, at least they have known each other. They know the side of play of this one, the movements. What can we do that these players can stay together for some time Maybe in the clubs, you can say this one are going to be in KCCA, Vipers.
For Uganda's case, just like some African nations which haven't yet developed to the level that we all want to see, the challenge is our circumstances are different. For instance, let's say 4 players stand out in the Hippos, right now, and the tournament ends. The difference in circumstances will be such that 1 or 2 of those players could be lured to semi-professional or professional football somewhere, and they can't resist the lure of money and the chance to play professional. So they leave and go. What happens eventually, as we've seen it many times, if they were not ready to go and join the professional ranks, or if they are not prepared enough to play professional football, they'll go to whatever team they've gone. Unfortunately, they won't walk straight in the starting team.
Yes.
They'll be pushed in some underage or second team at that club. They'll play under a reserve team. Before you know it, they get frustrated where they are. So their form goes, their level drops. Before you know it, they haven't played all season, or they played once or twice. Not playing time. 1 year, 2 years, they are now not even good to be called for the national team because they've been lacking playing time. And before you know it, what happened to X? What happened to Y? And somehow we lose them. They lose track.
So our system here.
So it is just, can I say, the level we are at as a nation in terms of football, because these players don't consistently come through academies to be prepared for professional football, to be prepared to resist certain characteristics of professional football, or we can't survive under the rigors of professional football. It's something inherent in our game. Because of that, there is little we can do, but the question was, what can we do? What we can do is to build genuine football academies. To have genuine academy coaches, teachers of youth football, genuine, qualified, they know how to prepare youngsters. So that we can prepare these teams to play football from one level to the next. If we can build more capacity in our coaching setup, in our management setup, maybe that capacity will eventually translate into helping these youngsters to develop steadily and naturally. Now we can sustain the quality. Now we can sustain the time which these players can last. But hopefully we can build lessons. And in this current Hippos side, I'm looking forward to the quarterfinal. I hope with this in mind, these players can keep their feet on the ground. Jackson Mayanja, who was the player, can help identify which players have the quality and the opportunity to get a platform to perform. If we can coordinate Jackson and his coaches at that level, we coordinate with the coaches at the local level, and we identify these players and they give them the right coaches. I hope we can help these boys to progress.
Wow. Mr. Aldrine Nsubuga Snr, tulina ebirala bikoze amawulire mu weekend. Era nga ku fly on the wall tulina okubanga tubitunuulira. The issue of Chameleon's concert titled Gwanga Mujje. Chameleon yalina okola concert the other week, but concert eno efunamu obuzibuzibu. The issues were stage enkuba yajja nekuba stage negwa wansi. So this concert was postponed to Friday last week, and this concert happened. It was a success. What do you make of his Chameleon now? Has he come back to reclaim his position as the legend?
From where I sit, I don't think it was about reclaiming anything. Chameleon doesn't have to prove to anyone anything. He doesn't have to go out of his skin to show who he is. He is Jose Chameleon. Music in Uganda and the youngsters who have come through and have admired and have aimed at becoming music stars and music icons, I believe generation after generation, they were inspired by Chameleon, who stuck in there when there was nothing. There was no music to talk about. They did it their way. They went through all sorts of experiences. Chameleon even stayed for some years in Kenya just to try and get a startup. He learned Swahili, sang in Swahili. I mean, the experiences that Chameleon went through for the sake of football and building the industry, and his success later, what he has done later, was enough. And the music itself that he plays, different identity. But everybody will get up on a Chameleon song. So for me, he did not have to do anything to prove his status as a music legend. It was enough. But what we saw in terms of results, it confirms. It confirms that he's loved. It confirms that he's done Ugandans good in this industry. One of the artists who helped us to forget about Congolese music. Not to forget, but, well, to now pay attention to Ugandan music and to use him as one of the yardsticks of how to build the local industry in terms of music. And so seeing the mammoth turn up after, of course, the misfortune of the rain that interrupted him was good. I would want to wish, rather than this being another reason for Chameleon to get on top of his head and again forget where the fans have brought him, the support they've given him, and the fact that Chameleon is Chameleon because of fans. I hope he doesn't use it again as a reason now, again, to become the Chameleon away from the icon we know. Because off the stage, off the music, we know what he can be. And that scares me. That I don't like. But hopefully he learns his lesson, even though already we know controversy came through the very concert that's supposed to bring him back. And that's a contradiction about Chameleon, which I hate. I don't like it.
Let's talk about the controversy that is all surrounding Chameleon and his brother kissing on stage at that very show. What do you make of it when we are in the midst of the talk of homosexuality and Chameleon is filmed kissing the brother Weasel live on stage? Parents are there. The culture. We are in a country which is so culture-centered.
This is the contradiction that bothers me when it comes to Ugandan stars, Ugandan superstars, especially in the showbiz industry, in this case, entertainment. They do one very good thing, in the same breath, they do another very bad thing. And I still fail to understand why. Either it's because the superstars take their fans for granted so much when they see that love, like we saw the love for Chameleon. I think it's in them to imagine they owe it to me. They're supposed to mob me. They're supposed to idolize me. Maybe that's in their thinking. And they forget that, no, these guys appreciate you. These guys love what you do. So they love to love you. They want to show you love. But what do you give us back in return? In that same moment, don't turn around and do things that seem to be carrying the message that you are taking us for granted. Respect us. What Chameleon and brother did, the Mayanjas, I could be one of the very few who don't think it was a mistake.
Yes, come out.
I have seen his apology.
Yes.
I listened to his video. I watched and listened to it.
He says he was overwhelmed by the support.
He talks about overwhelming and how he was taken in the moment. And I'm saying Chameleon has been in this industry for over 25 years or 20. This wasn't the first concert where he had such a mammoth turn-up.
He has been on stage for 20
outside
10 years.
Performing. He's performed in East Africa. He's performed in Africa. He's had overwhelming crowds. He's never done this. I don't remember him doing something as crazy as that because of being overwhelmed. So I don't believe it. Now, especially as the concert was on Friday.
Yes.
The apology came out on Tuesday, yesterday. The act we also, the one which is riding on the controversies right now going on around this act of homosexuality. You take 4 days to realize that, oh my goodness, what I did last night. No. I'm thinking, just because of the nature of act already going against our cultural norms and traditional way of viewing these things, if you wait for 4 days to come out after the pictures have gone viral
on social media,
the images have gone viral, so you give it 4 days for that to happen, because that's what happened, and you come on the 4th day when it changes nothing.
And
why does it change nothing? Because you gave it 4 days to get as deeply entrenched in our social media circles.
Some were starting to sue him.
Yeah. So from him, the question is, apologizing for this act after 4 days, how sincere is it? Are you so ignorant that you are forgetting that your stardom and your candle ignites a lot of talk, and you know it? So you allowed it to happen for 4 days, come then say I'm sorry, knowing that it changes nothing. So for me, why I don't really believe and accept his apology is because he knowingly allowed the controversy to first go on for 4 days, so that the impact can go on and on and on. Now you can come because of public outcry, because maybe a friend talked to you, or a guardian somewhere, or a mentor somewhere has talked to you. That's the only reason why you have come out, not because you wanted to come out.
Just read on the behind deep into the act, a male kissing the same-sex kissing each other on stage, Chameleon kissing his brother live on stage. What do you read into this act?
The first, a star allowing stardom to get to his head. Remember our discussion last week?
Yes.
I can do anything I want. Does it ring a bell? I can do anything I want. I'm Jose Chameleon. The syndrome I talked about last week. I can do anything I want. I'm a god. I talked about it just a week ago. These stars imagining they are gods. Why do I put it in that category? He knows that does not happen in public, in front of your mammoth crowd, but I will do it. I am Chameleon. So I read into it the syndrome of godliness. The stars believing they're small gods. That's one. Two, and that hurts. How disrespectful can you be to your society? At the very time when every Ugandan is crying that this problem is hitting us hard, at the very time, can you say you lack sensitivity? Can you say you were not aware? You can't say. That lack of sensitivity which leads you to disrespect us to that extent. You knowing, don't worry, I'll come back and say I'm sorry, because that's what they do.
Yes.
I'll come back and say I'm sorry.
So they take the public for granted.
Exactly, and then they'll forget about it. No, I don't want to forget about it, Chameleon, what you did, because I can't forget about it. So for me, that is why I begin from that to say, by mistake? No. It was by design. By design, I am taking it further.
To achieve what?
To achieve what? An agenda. An agenda of showing Ugandans that there is nothing wrong with this. It's okay. There is nothing wrong with this. It's okay.
Can we say that
whether it comes from him or it's somebody is promoting it through him, I can't say. But what Chameleon did, the Mayanjas, what they are telling us, who tells you there is anything wrong with this? It's okay. To show you that it's okay, I am Jose Chameleon. I am Mayanja. Let's do it and show you it's okay.
Should Ugandans consider his apology as a sign of sorry and forgiveness?
Every Ugandan has their way of appreciating or loving their superstars. To many in this world of celebrity, their idols never do wrong. A lot of fans, they don't care what their idol does. They will always be on his side.
Yeah.
In this case, all they need is a word of sorry, and they will say, it's okay because it's so and so, and I idolize him. He's my hero. He doesn't do anything wrong. If he says sorry, I'll forget what he's done because I idolize him. So a lot of fans will find that okay, it's their choice, it's their decision, they forget about it, the country moves on. A few like me, I separate my degree of loyalty to you
Then decreases.
and what exactly you do in as far as my idolizing of you is concerned. For me, I separate. I am one person who always allows his mind never to be shrouded
You pay
by
attention to
any
details.
sentiments. In this case, I can't allow sentiments towards the Chameleon I love as a superstar. His stardom, because I love him. I can't allow that emotionalism to crowd my reason. The reason that, no, that wasn't a mistake. You knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm hurt. Why am I hurt? And for me, I'm talking to those who are like me. Duke, I'm a parent.
Yes.
I'm an old man. I have a granddaughter, Atara. I've seen this celebrity world. I am part of it. I have my own following. A lot of people who believe in me. In terms of being a model, inspiring, do I feel happy that Aldrine Jr. watched that? That those images will remain somewhere in the cupboard or on record, and one day Atara will come across them? That discussions are going on, and that image, the brothers. For me, I can't take that lightly. So, while forgiveness is normal, we are called to forgive. It's okay to forgive. I want to forgive Chameleon, and I forgive Chameleon if I take it by the word. I can't let him off the hook because he will do that again and again and again and come back and say, I'm sorry. Duke, homosexuality is an abomination. So much so that while the bill, I'm told, was signed into law by the president, as of what, yesterday or this week? I think he has signed it, meaning it comes with consequences. Someone is using their fame, and for me that's the point, and that's why I'm saying it's not by accident that they did it. Someone else is using their fame,
Promote this
is
agenda.
using their godliness in terms of status, their degree of influence on society, to say the law can say what they want. You guys can fight this, but I'll use my power to still carry through the message that we can do this thing
and go with it.
what we want, and these guys cannot stop us. He will say, I'm sorry, in camera. Duke, these are brothers. They have a father. They have a family. Their father was at that function. Duke,
And their mother.
their father and mother were at the function. Goodness me. You can't even tell me that drugs got into your head and in front of your father and mother, you did something you've never done before unless you intended it.
And we have children who are streaming live this concert live on show media, and they are watching this act.
So, thank you, Chameleon, for apologizing. Let those who want forgive him, it's their right. Personally, I don't bite, and I've given you my reason. The apology comes 4 days. Something that trains as fast as Chameleon, you only give it 1 hour. We've had 24 times 4, that's 24 times 4 is 96 hours.
Come on, apologize.
Of saturating, trending, going as far as it goes. That was deliberate. It was intended. I cannot put Chameleon off the hook. It's sad. It's sorry. It's sad. It makes me cry.
It's been an exciting episode here on Fly on the Wall every Friday, right here on Media Estate YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share. Don't forget to follow at Aldrine Live on Twitter, Aldrine Nsubuga Snr on Facebook, also at Duke Mwesigwa on Facebook, and also on Twitter.